So it's the end of week 3 and I've managed to fill another skip up, but come and have a look inside and see how I've been getting on. This week's been about stripping the wallpaper off of all the walls in the house, which is now complete. In doing this though, I have found that a lot of the plaster has blown, so it is going to need a bit of extra work to rectify this. I don't think these doors had ever come off before, and the flathead screws were really stuck in there, so I just used an angle grinder to slice through the hinge, a hammer and chisel, and then prise them off with the crowbar. This is what I was talking about with the plaster just falling away, because as you can see on this wall over here, it looks okay at first, and then like I say, that looks okay as well. Put the wallpaper steamer on it and these big lumps just fall off, and that happened in a few places. So if you come out into the hallway, that also happened. So again, you can see that middle chunk of plaster looks very nice, and this whole wall looked pretty good. And then with the heat from the wallpaper stripper, yeah, we lost lots of big chunks. So I thought that it might all have to just come back to brick, but the plasterer says, no, we are all good. We can use a bit of bonding and some blue grit. Happy days. So that makes me happy. I started knocking off the render with a hammer and chisel in the bathroom and quickly realised that was going to be way too slow. So ordered a new chisel for the STS drill, and that was way faster. That was the only route to go, really. Quite a lot did come off in the bathroom. But again, that's all done now, all swept and all finished. And that's all the loose tile adhesive and bonding off in the bathroom. So we're all swept out in here again and nice and clean. So I've made sure there's no crumbling or loose bits. Taken it back to the brick in some places. Ready for the next stage, which will be rebuilding it all back up again. And in the spirit of cleaning away and tidying up, it was time to get the oven on the skip, which that wasn't fun. I actually used the old wardrobe doors that were in the bedroom, got them out, used them as a makeshift ramp, and the oven went straight up and into the skip. I also managed to get in the electric fires that were on the wall. So thank you, Sharon, who mentioned to me that they were full of bricks. So in each of these fires, there were 16 bricks. So that's what made them so heavy. So yeah, fronts came off the fires and bricks came out. The fires went on the skip along with a lot more wallpaper as well. We never actually received a key for the garage as well, so I'd never seen inside it before we purchased the property. So I thought it was time to try and get in, so I ended up drilling the lock out. I was a little bit concerned that it might be stuck to the ceiling, just full of rubbish. Paul was hoping for like a vintage Ferrari or something along those lines, but finally got in, and yeah. There's no vintage Ferrari, but I'm just happy it's not stuck to the ceiling with rubbish. There's a few little bits and bobs, but that's no issue. Seeing as we've got a new skip anyway. Yeah, nice little space. And then here is the lock that I drilled out. So you can see the end of that is completely mangled. So need to be getting a new lock for that. And as if by magic, next day a new lock turns up with Amazon Prime. So it was easy enough to fit. It was just a case of slotting it in, and then once the door was open, putting the fixing bolt in there, and it was job done. Although my videoing skills could be better. Tested the lock, and yep, it all works as it should. Done. Happy days. And now I've got 3 new keys. And I'm kind of where I want to be at the moment. My plan was this week to get the whole of downstairs stripped of wallpaper and any loose render off in the kitchen. So as you can see, the loose render is off. Hopefully you can see that. So just above the window, it's all the renders removed all around the window as well. That's all gone, all the loose, and on the walls. Yeah, I've left any good and all the loose has been removed. So that was successful. The doors and most of the frames have now gone. The wood panelling has gone from under the stairs. The nails removed from what was left over from holding the skirting boards on. Wallpaper's all gone from up the side of the stairs. Wallpaper is off in all of the bedrooms, so blank canvas, and again all the plaster or loose plasters off the walls. Loose plaster off in here as well. So there we go. Just wanted to show you an initial mock-up of the new layout that we want to use. So it is subject to change depending on the structural engineer and quotes from the builders for doing the structural work, because it will need some stills. So I'm just going to show you. Here we go. This is the old and new side by side. So on the right is the original floor plan, the kitchen with the dividing wall between that and the dining room. So we're looking at filling in the wall here, so this becomes one room, which is actually going to become a bedroom, because we're looking at renting this out by the room. So one room downstairs, 3 upstairs. As you can see by the new floor plan here, we've got the downstairs shower room that we're looking at putting in. So shower, toilet, hand basin. In the kitchen, at the moment, I've put a big fridge freezer here, tumble dryer, washing machine, because that's obviously near the waste. And then we've got some kitchen cupboards. And then we've got a little breakfast bar area with a couple of stools. Cooker here, and again just small worktop space on the ends, and a sofa and a TV. So like I say, everything's subject to change at the moment. This is just a bit of an initial thrash out plan, but yeah, we just wanted to see that everything does fit. We can run all the drainage how we need to, and obviously we need this for like first fix plumbing and electric. This is the upstairs. So as you can see, we've changed the hall and landing round a little bit, because by the original, the smallest bedroom was actually very small. So I wanted to try and make this a bit bigger by using a bit of the hallway space. It means the new entrance for the small room is actually in here in the wall, and then this little area that's added on, that's going to become a built-in wardrobe. So it will hopefully just make the room feel a lot bigger. You can actually see by the picture. I mean, it doesn't make it massive, but it should hopefully just make it feel a lot more spacious, because it is quite small at the moment. Change the bathroom around a little bit, as you can see. So it was toilet here, and then we have the sink here. But I think what we're going to do is have the sink across here, because then you can have a mirror above as it's on the wall. And this, instead of being a bath, it's going to be just one large shower. Now, seeing as you've got the window here, the idea is to have the shower head this end, the screen a 3/4 length, so you can walk in down this end. These are the taps to turn on and off, and then yeah, the shower up this end, so then you don't get the window wet. And another really good thing you can do with this is exploring 3D, which I think is brilliant, because you can actually wander around the rooms and see what they're like. So you get a really good feel for size and how all the furniture fits. There's the shower room. Yeah, really good bit of kit, but I will just say I'm not affiliated at all with it. I just really liked it, so I thought I'll share it. Whether you're doing a project, or even if you just wanted to have a play around with furniture at home, like, I think that's brilliant. You can redesign your whole house.